You told me that they exist, whether they posted them or not. So they were taking pictures and videos. Don't you see why the mom, Nolan's mom, is concerned there's nothing on her son's phone?
Well, Nancy, it's unclear exactly what the mother is articulating, because at one point she's concerned that there's not a lot of Snapchats or social media posting. She did not articulate, or the Benjamin Crumb did not mention that there's nothing on his phone. So they're not saying that the phone was wiped and there's no images or anything. She was concerned about his social media frequency, which I believe, after talking to the boys, it was consistent with what they said, and it was consistent with basic deductive reasoning that maybe he didn't post a lot on that day. So what remains a focus for me, and if I was investigating this
Not
case,
talking about
I
posting.
would want to know.
I'm not talking
I
about
would
whether
want
he
to
posted,
know.
officer.
No,
He didn't
what
even
I'm saying
take
is
anything.
that
There's no pictures. There's no
it,
anything.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.
Let's get, yeah, you know I'm about to.
All right, y'all, we're back. Thanks for being here, all that good stuff. I'm tired. I am so tired. Anyways, Nolan Wells, Nancy Grace, Officer Tatum. I'm just going to call dude Tatum. I'm not calling dude Officer nothing. How do I word this? Tap dancing. Some people say COON. It's a lot of all of that. Bro's really being nitpicky with the wordplay and placement, and even the use of the word basically. No, we're not doing basicallys right now. We're not doing any of that. It's all about factual, basically. Nancy Grace put this dude in his place. Point blank, period. Shout out to her. But what I find most amazing is that the way he handles himself with others versus his own. And what's so crazy is that the people he's working for they know that he's a traitor. And if he'll trade on his own people, he's nothing to them but a tool. And they will dispose of him as needed. Point blank, period. Now, before we start this, I feel like they sent the message to Nolan Wells' mom, the family, and others in Mississippi. I want you guys to just look up a situation, type in lady on Remembrance Road in Jackson. Remembrance Road. Come on, man. I called the state police, I called Jackson police, and I asked about flock cameras. They act dumb. When I called them and asked about flock cameras, they acted stupid. It's a lot going on. And I feel like what happened on Remembrance Road was a signal to shut up. Stay in line. This woman was so high in the air that they had to use a fire truck. Let me repeat that. This woman was so high in the air they had to use a fire truck. Facts. I just really want that to sit in. In my opinion, I feel how I feel. Period. This might be my last story on here because, for one, the channel doesn't get enough donations to output videos that don't get the reach. I can sit here and watch messy channels clean up on donations, while a person like me come on here speaking some real stuff and y'all don't send nothing. It's crazy work, dude. It's people up here talking about other bloggers in Dallas and they're making $300-400 per stream. But a real one gets up here and talks about real stuff. Nothing. Let's get to the clips, y'all. This is going to be my last story about this because it's just draining, period. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't get the support that you need. And yeah, let's go. I'm going to shut up.
Had 1 or 2 bars out there. When I listened to the Cito call, you could tell that the call dropped out several times. It seemed like they were having trouble at times hearing each other. So it is consistent. And anybody that travel out there that have gone to the 4th of July celebration, they know that the reception is not very great. So the videos that they showed me in call logs were things that were not associated to social media, that they never posted on social media. It was, pictures and videos that they took on their phone.
Okay. Let me refine my question.
Uh-oh.
I take it from your last answer that the answer is yes, you had reception on Horn Island.
Yes, I did have reception on Horn Island.
She's a former prosecutor. Race Batum Tatum is so used to just throwing shit out there and just hoping it stick. You can't do that in front of a person that's going to press your ass.
We just played that Cito call. It's 2 words, SEATOW, and it's kind of insurance that people have that are boat goers. And if you have a problem, Cito will come and tow you back to the mainland.
Get him.
They said they had a problem. They said they were taking on water. One of your takes is that all the chatter that we're hearing, wake up Nolan, are you dead, Nolan, wake the F up, Nolan, could be referring to the battery, the bilge on the boat, that it's all unclear. Regarding the boat being disabled, apparently it was not.
At 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the original dock.
What she's about to go over is, if they were sinking, why the hell did they do all this driving around in the boat if the bilge pump went out and if they were sinking? Understand, when they were speaking to that dispatch, she asked him, how far is the water in your boat? And he couldn't answer. She asked it, did it come up to the ankles? And he could not answer, y'all.
That from the real TikTok detective, the boat wasn't sinking. They told Cito it was sinking. What's the truth? Was it sinking and they repaired it? Did they have a leak and they repaired it and kept on SOP? Brandon Tatum joining us, former cop, now star of The Officer Tatum. Did the young man explain those travels we just identified?
Yeah, 100% they did that. I wish that people on the internet would have had an opportunity, and they can go look at the interview that I did with Warren, but they had an opportunity to actually talk to these young men to get this in perspective, because some people have no idea how boats function and how they work. They explained to me, they took me on a boat and showed me exactly where they went, where they docked, where did they, stop at, how did they get the bilge pump and the water out of the boat and all of the above. So they were sinking. They were taking on water. The water came up high enough.
Did the young man explain those travels?
That the batteries weren't working. They had.
All right, y'all. All right. This really pisses me the hell off the strength that when you know his connection to them boys, and them boys' parents, grandparents, and aunts and uncles or whatever, you get why he felt safe enough to get on a boat with these same people. You understand why he's not asking the hard questions. You understand why he is not challenging these people. Why in the hell is he not questioning them about the phone service? How do they say, yeah, there's no service? He sits there and says, there's service. How does that shit work? How does it work? But I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. If he turns on them kids and those families, it'll be worse than him turning on us. Mark my words. Mark my words. This dude is such a, I'm not going to say a created player, but he's a pawn. He's a pawn. He was the safe face to come out to combat these things. Hey, let's put this dude in place so he can challenge some of these things or discrepancies that we're having that make us look guilty and could possibly jeopardize our futures. Not only the futures of the people involved, but also the people that helped put it in perspective, y'all. There were people talking about that the boat was thoroughly cleaned the same night, but in the early morning hours. Why aren't these people in custody to the point where they have to prove their innocence? If it was Ray Ray, Dante, Pistol Starter, Gat Toter, they would be in jail fighting from the inside, just based off the inconsistencies. Man, fuck the inconsistencies, the lies. And y'all know I don't cuss on here like that. This is my last time covering this, real talk, because it works me up. And what works me up the most is that they sent the message out. Go look up Black Lady Remembrance Road, Jackson, Mississippi. She was so high, they had to use a fire truck ladder. I don't think none of us is running around hoisting. We're just not doing it, period. And then to be and do that publicly in Jackson, Mississippi? No. Statistically speaking, we have a lower rate than them when it comes to that type of situation. But for these people to know the roots of Mississippi, what just happened in Jackson, and then to say, hey, these are the roots of Mississippi, you know what I'm gonna go out here and do publicly? I'm gonna go way up there and let somebody find me. Make it make sense, man.
No matter what you say, just know you're going to get hate mail. Doesn't matter what you say. If the angel Gabriel came down right now and spoke on this case, he would get hate mail. That said, what do you make of that audio, officer?
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for having me on. If you put the audio within context, it is an impossibility unless these people are prophesying that somehow they're saying Nolan's name or projecting that Nolan is somehow injured, hurt, or killed, because we have witnesses that have come out. When I interviewed Warren, a lot of those kids that I talked to already alluded to this way before the audio came out, that they were gone. And people had already saw Nolan after they had left. The young lady, Katie, that he was hanging out with, I saw a text message from her alluding to the fact that she never saw him get on that boat at all. We have video of the boat that we shared on our social media page, and it shows all the occupants on the boat, and Nolan was not there. And so if a person thinks that they've heard something on the audio, they have to compare it with context. Maybe they said, is it dead? Talking about items that could potentially have died or damaged on the boat, given the fact that they were sinking. So I think people need to put this in context and reevaluate what they're listening to on the video, because if you are going to make a staunch stance in the wrong direction, in my opinion, by saying they're obviously talking about Nolan, it is incredibly impossible. One more thing real quick, that when you look at where they were at when they made the phone call and their GPS coordinates, it literally put them on the island. And we know, and not on the physical island, but really close proximity to the island. And we know, because we have another video of Nolan being out there and also all the other boats surrounding him, that this would have had to happen very near to hundreds of people in hundreds of different boats. So somebody would have seen something if there was a dramatic commotion like this occurring on that boat.
I hear what you're saying, Officer Brandon Tatum.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
We're gonna end it right there. I'm not reporting on this no more. I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. Some people look at the court of law and they say it's not about if you did it or you didn't do it. You're there to create reasonable doubt. So here we are in a cut and dry situation with so much reasonable doubt. The creation of multiple narratives creates confusion, mass confusion, on a story that's so simple. When was it that the person that you were last seen with is not? Come on, man. It's amazing how different this system is when it comes to one versus the other. It really is. It really is. But these people got a lot to lose, y'all. They got a history to lose, a present and a future. Meanwhile, Nolan, yeah, reasonable doubt. I think that's what they're pushing for. I really do. And what happened on Remembrance Road, I feel like that was a psst, shut up. That's how I feel. Real talk. This situation just drains me. It really irritates me to the core. Anyways, if you made it to this point, say I made it. $ Trap House Kitchen 1. Look out for your boy out here spitting truth versus these messy bloggers, dude. They're not talking about nothing that can get their channel taken down, but some messes and clean up hundreds. Yeah. I might have to go to baddies and Zeus type reactions now. No jumper and stuff. I'm out. Peace.